folks. I like rock music. It's good for your soul, as the doggone scrolls foretold. Welcome to our Friday edition. This is just me again today. Dylan's got a minor injury that he's recovering from, but he's got to stay away from messing with his hands for about a week, and then he's going to be good as new. And Turn of the Burner is out doing his food truck thing today as well. I can't wait to try that food truck, but he's always up in Sheboygan. Sheboygan, Wisconsin. That's a good hour north of the Milwaukee area. And I thought it'd be fun today to just plug in my old Lester. I've got a recording coming up. Folks, there's a secret recording going on. We got a new record that'll be coming out in September-ish. And very excited about it. It's going to be very, very cool. And I use this guitar on a few tracks. And one of the main tracks is this one that we got Jimmy Hall singing. We got the Memphis Horns playing with us. I got to tell you, it's flipping awesome. And anywho, so I thought I'd bring this guitar out. It's been in the corner, and I haven't played it in a while. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to take it out and plug it into the old Tone King Royalist, and doggone it sounds good. I just have a little bit of slap delay coming from the Jam Pedals Delay Lama Supreme. It's going to be a blues record. That is correct, Paul. Yes. Because we were talking, I'm working with, well, I'll get into it more when it's all official. But yes, it's going to be a blues record. And it's going to be rocking. Adam says, play some slide on that Lester. Well, that's what I was thinking about doing. Anyways, just for kicks and giggles, I just want to show you what I got. This is kind of the 67 plexi sound. And I do have the attenuator on, so I'm not deafening myself here in this room. And I've got the attenuator on the negative 15 decibels down from what it would be. And the first channel I have set up to be more of this. This is more of the blues breaker combo. When I go to the second channel, it's more that 67 sound. Of course, what's great about the attenuator is that it's power amp distortion. So when I turn the volume down on the guitar, it gets all nice and clean. Sounds delicious, or... Sounds pretty doggone meaty, right? It's called that old school channel switching where you just turn the volume down on the guitar and then turn it back up again to get that filth. Can you dig it? So anyways, this one does have my Fishman Fluence classic humbuckers on it. Not mine, but I mean, they're mine that I own them. There's not my signature ones, but they sound doggone good. Sounds so beefy and juicy. Someone want a little bit of slide-a-rooney. Thank you, Jay Knudsen. Thank you, Matty K, for those sweet tips. I appreciate that, doggone it. Folks, I just want to show you a quick little thing right there. Doggone it. And this is subtle stuff. Doggone it, but there's just a little bit of difference in sound between going like this. They're going. When you go down, as opposed to up. Good God, that's a juicy tone. Does it sound good out there? It sounds good in here. It sounds good in here, doggone it. I just got an SM57 on that microphone, or on that amplifier right now. And doggone it, it sounds good. Can you dig it? Can you dig those kind of activities? What kind of speakers? Well, there's two different Celestions. The Celestion that's in the combo itself, I can't quite remember, but I know the bottom one, I got a Soldano. Let's see if we can move here. Is it? Oh no, wrong one. Wrong camera. That's another position. Actually, right behind that Fishman amp is another Soldano single 12 cabinet. I'm waiting to get my actual Tone King extension cabinet for the Royalist. In lieu of that, I'm using a Soldano. It's got a Redback 150 watt Celestion 12 in it. And man, it sounds good along with the Celestion that's in the Tone King Royalist itself. Those two together, working it out, making it happen. Sounds so doggone juicy. What year is that, Lester? Well, this is actually, I bought this during a little incident called COVID-19. It was so obscene, that COVID-19. And like many people during COVID-19, I was obsessed with buying guitars. And I looked on Wildwood's site, and Wildwood, during COVID-19, they would send me guitars to review, if you will, in the old Orange Room in the house. Now I'm in a not attached garage up in the upstairs, in the UPNA. Anywho, and one night I was looking on the Wildwood website, which is a place of lust, if we're honest. You go on there and you're like, diggity doggone it, look at all these guitars tempting my very soul, tickling my chakra. And I saw this guitar. It's a 58, custom shop 58, and it was a gloss, so it's not pre-beat. And it was pretty light. It was like just under 8.5 pounds, as I recall. And I liked the burst on it. It was it was a little more red, and I liked the 58s because the necks are a little fatter. And so I said to Steve from Wildwood, I was like, hey, in the next batch of guitars that you send out, can you include this one? And I included the link, and I said, if I like it, I'll buy it. And I ended up doing that. So it sounds so diggity doggone good. And I did put I had it for a while just with the Wildwood spec pickups, which sound glorious. But I ended up putting in the Fishman Fluence classic humbuckers because I'm just so used to how they sound. Because I can have them set one. And then when I pick this up, I get a second voice that's a little fatter. So this is the first voice. Kind of got that blues breakery tone. Pick up this little tone control here, I get a second voice. Here, let me get that going here. Let's go over. Yeah, there we go. This second tone control gives me a little bit more girth, so I pop up on that rascal. Back to that doggone chord. Jazzy Rick was asking if we're going to be playing around town this summer, meaning in Wisconsin, and we've got a couple things. It was not much though. Just the way it turned out. We are playing at a thing in Wauwatosa, which is my hometown. I think that's June 15th, something like that. It's on the website. We're playing at Heart Fest in that pavilion on 68th and State, which is awesome. And then there's another thing that we're doing somewhere in Wisconsin, and I can't remember where. But that'll be on the website. Greg Koch, you're not doing phasing or splitting with a push-pull? Yes, I am. This it's got all kinds of crapola on it, so let me show you. So this first tone control, as I said, when I hit that, I'm going to a second voice that's a little fatter. This is actually a coil tap up here. If I hit this, I get a little more... Right? So that's the coil tap. Sounds very good. Anyways, you get the idea. Now if I go in the middle position and I grab this first volume knob, I'll go out of phase. So check that out. So we got a little bit of turn the volume down a little bit. There you go. It's a beefy creature. It's a beefy creature. What's it doing now? There we go. Ha ha ha. Well, this isn't Creed, but it'll do. Oh, I see what you did there, Aaron Schulte. You know, my second grade teacher's last name was Schulte. Mrs. Schulte. Mrs. Schulte was my second grade teacher at Webster Elementary School. Crimson Domicile. Someone wanted to hear a little slide first. Let's see what we got with a little slide. Slide on a Les Paul, you can do a couple different ways. You can go in that middle position and have the treble pickup all the way up and then bring up the bass pickup. But usually I just go on the bridge pickup myself and then go back a skosh. I put that second voice on so it's a little fatter. And then I just go back a little bit on the tone control so it's not razor blades and hand grenades. Get the idea. It sounds good. It sounds diggity doggone good. Can you dig it? Slide on the old Lester Paul Fist model and standard tuning. Since I've been loving you, please. That's one that's hard to do all by your lonesome. An extemporaneous, abbreviated version of a song that we recorded on our latest record. If you don't have it yet, folks, the new record, which is called Melting the Farmhouse, we recorded last summer after we got back from a tour. We just set up in a studio and performed 4 tunes live, one of which was that song, Since I've Been Loving You by the Zap. We did an instrumental version of that, and it's turned out quite good. And we still have plenty of vinyl left. You can go to my website, gregkoch.com, or come to a gig, and we will set you up with some vinyl. It's only available in vinyl and digital formats. Of course, if you go to Bandcamp and follow us on there and purchase it from Bandcamp, we get a little better taste of that action as opposed to just going to iTunes or Spotify or wherever you like to get your digital something or others. It is on Bandcamp, Paul. If you go to I believe just Greg Koch. There's also a Koch Marshall trio page. It's either under one of the two. Initially, we were just going by Koch Marshall Trio, but then I realized people were not realizing that that was my band. You know, you try to do the right thing. Hey, let's make this a thing about all three of us. And then people don't understand, oh, it's that guy's band. So, and then especially with the other records I had like Greg Koch and the Tone Controls, Greg Koch and Other Bad Men. I had a band called Nation Sack that was really me and Malford Milligan. I had, what else? Greg Koch Band. And so all of these things were getting their own little separate identification on the digital things, and you don't get the cumulative effect of people checking out all your records. And of course, everyone looks at how many subscribers do you have? How many listens do you have? So we had to rebrand everything as just Greg Koch. And that was not easy to do, but we did it. And now you can go on there and check out all that shnikey. Can you dig it? Will you dig it? Greg Koch and the Kochers would be cool. Yes, it would, Adam. And it would be a good household product as well. Hey, my tub needs a little bit of that Greg Koch and the Kochers. We could tie in quality housing products with sweet musics. What a savage combination. Oh, can you dig it? Strut's Got Your Tongue. That record came out, I recorded that sucker in 1994. It came out in 95, I believe. And then it was reissued by a label out of Rochester, New York called Grooveyard Records. I think that was like in 2012. He put a different cover on it. Looks a little bit more mean and fiery. It looks mean and fiery. But the original artwork had me leaning up against a factory, looking like I was basking in the sun with my Stratocaster de jour at the time. And okay, Love Contractor. That's right, Jay Knutz. That one's going to be on the blues record. The blues record is half culmination, it's mostly a retrospective of all the bluesier things from my records, but there are 2 brand new tracks on there. And those are good, clean fun. Can you dig it? Heed the Boogaloo. Heed the Boogaloo was originally... I was messing around with 2 chords. Oh, what is that Marshall cabinet? Is there a fun story about that Marshall cabinet? You mean other than this look of some kind of secretion that has fallen down the front of it? Back in 1989, ladies and gentlemen, there was a contest in Guitar Player magazine. Send in 30 seconds of your best blues licks. I believe it was 30 seconds. No, was it a minute? It was some quantity of time in blues licks. And so... very close to the due date, I went in and a buddy of mine just recorded us doing a blues. I remember I played a Strat. I had one of those 63 Mary Kay reissue Strats. And I plugged it into my Jim Kelly amp at the time. And we played a blues in A. And I sent it off on a cassette, as you did back in the day. And anyways, months later, I get a call out of the blue. I was living in Minneapolis at the time, and I get a call, and they're like, hey, did you send a tape in to Marshall Amplifiers for this contest, the Blues Breaker contest? I said, yes. They go, congratulations, you won first prize. Where should we send your amp? I go, what? And they sent me this JTM 45 cabinet and a head. And I actually got rid of it years ago, but I found out who bought my cabinet, and I bought it back. The head was long gone. And I had the cabinet for a while, and then a guy that I played with in a band when I was a freshman in high school, he wanted the Marshall cabinet, and I wasn't using it, so I sold it to him, and he was out in Washington, D.C. He was actually a political cartoonist for the Washington Post, of all things. And then now he's just an artist out there, freelance artist, and he's awesome, by the way, Mark Jimo. Anyways, he's like, hey, I'm not using that Marshall cabinet. You want to buy it back? So I bought it back, and he shipped it back in this box, and it was all ravaged. And so... this was the same cabinet that I used on the record Defenestrator. So when you listen to the record Defenestrator and you hear Chiefs Blues or any of those songs, that's going through that cabinet. And it's got, of course, the 25-watt Celestians. And that was that. Back in the day, Ryan, you know what's even weirder about the story is that the guy who was probably calling me was Richie Fliegler, because he worked for Marshall at the time, and it was Richie and some other guys. I could tell it was a conference call. And I remember when I got to know Richie later on, I go, you know, I won that contest. Was that you who called me? He's like, yeah, that was probably me. And I thought, God, what are the chances of that? Lord have mercy. What can you do? Well, let's just try some stuff. I'm just going to put this guitar down and grab another one and see what they sound like, just in the same rig setup. I got my new Klotz cables, ladies and gentlemen. I'm using Klotz cables right now. They're made in Deutschland, and they're really good. They also got that little silencer, so I can switch guitars without going skibroidal, skibroidal. Let's try this other Les Paul. This is another Wildwood Wildwood spec, excuse me. But this one's this is a 57 Wildwood spec. Also has the Fishman pickups in it. But these are the open core. Oh, you know what? I think this one's messed. I think I broke that. I did. I'm going to have to get that repaired. I broke it. That is what I did. Going to have to take that in to my buddies over at someplace. You know, over at someplace is an excellent place to get your guitars worked on. I don't know if you're aware of that. Over at someplace, she ran calling Wildwood spec. She did. Are the Gales in the house? Lee Gale, how are you doing? This guitar sounds damn good. Now this, of course, is one of my signature Reverends, but it also has the Fluence P90s in it, and man, they sound good. Dig it. Can I talk? I'm sorry, I saw a question there in regard to how I run the amp. Well, what's great about Tone King amps is that you can overdrive the power amp section of the amp and then turn the overall volume down using an attenuator. And so the first channel I have It's like a JTM 45 on about 6, and that's what this sound is. So it's just snotting up a little bit, right? So I got... If I hit the other channel, it's more like a 1967 plexi, and I've got that up to about 9. Also has that out of phase thing if I go up on the tone control here. The only thing I'm using as far as the pedal boards, I got a little bit of slap back delay going on here. And then I'll put the DD3 on, which has got a little bit longer delay, and I'll keep them both on at the same time. This gives you a little something, something, right? can you dig it? Oh, can you dig it? You know, this guitar sounds damn good. Considering that Les Paul is a $6,000 instrument and this is a hair under $2,000, it's like, oh, hey. It's a pretty nice. Can you dig it? Oh, well, you dig it. The Reverend Guitar is a powerful force. Let's see what else we got here. Plug it in and see what happens. I'm going to grab this 74 Strat. Oh, hell, I almost fell down. Almost fell down and broke my crown. You better beware. You better beware. Almost fell down and broke my crown. You better beware. All right, let's see what we got. All right. Woo! Can you dig it? What are these jazz chords? Well, you know what's fun about that tune is it's basically just a minor blues for the most part. But what's kind of fun about it, of course, just A minor, but I like to put like an A minor 11 in there. This A minor 11 with a 9 on top. So I think that's, to make that like a D13 over A kind of a thing. And I might go E flat 9 to this D minor 7. Do that little Hendrixy. Then I might go back to the A. I might throw in this little 13 sharp 11 B flat. Back to A. And then it goes up to F, and you can do like an F major 9. Or sometimes I'll do this little disturbing chord. To a D minor 6/9, to a B flat 13 with a raised 11th or flat 5, depending on what part of town you're from. And then back to A. Right? So yeah, the pickups are a little wimpier on this, but man, it sounds good though. It sounds good. I still have the 3-way toggle switch in on this bad boy. I never modified it, although I may do that soon because the in-between sounds are pretty awesome once I just kind of find them. For years I've been doing that. I always do it like... That sounds cooler to me. Sounds good, man, right? Yeah, Ryan Clemson. Exactly. Yeah, Dwayne Allman, that's from an old Albert King song. There is nothing I can do as the years go passing by. As the years, is there nothing I can do? This guitar sounds good. Am I right or am I right? Right? That's a good one. That's a good tune. Rap-a-bap-bap-baloo. That's that Deep Purple song from Who Do We Think We Are, right? That was on the record? All those jams. That's, you know what, I'll tell you what, this is 74 Strat. It sounds damn good. It sounds damn good. Straight into that Tone King Royalist. Just a little bit of slap back and a little bit of a longer delay, but not much. Here's a slap back. Here's that longer delay. No, the delay is all in front of the amp. As a matter of fact, that gain I just hit, that's my Gristle King, which my buddy Tim Yarning came up with yarns ago. Tim Yarning, yarns ago, came up with an overdrive pedal for me and a clean boost. We call it the Gristle King, and Fishman actually makes them for me now. And you can get them through my website at gregkoch.com, a place of honor and diplomacy. I also sell them at gigs. A lot of people buy them, which is good. Perfect Stranglers, yes. Do you remember? Remember my name? Ian Gillan, who swallowed glass. I love it. Can you dig it? So how y'all doing out there? It's about that time, time to figure out what's going on for Din Din. Almost time to find out what's for Din Din. Eric Gale says, my favorite pedal on my board. I like that kind of talk, Eric Gale. Adam Emerson says, that pedal kicks ass. You're not wrong. It slaps cheek and leaves a mark, ladies and gentlemen. What cheek that is, that's up to your own disturbed analysis. Ian Gillan. Oh, one of my faves. Are you kidding me? Wah! Every time he'd scream like that, it just made a world a better place. When he screamed, a great scream. He also was in Black Sabbath for a minute. In the early 80s, he was on a record called Born Again. And there was a tune on there called Disturbing the Priest. And he screamed a great scream on there as well. He said, and the lyrics, if we would just recite them, was, do we mind disturbing the priest? Not at all, not at all, not in the least. Imagine if we had William Shatner reciting the lyrics of Judas Priest's Disturbing the Priest. I think a good name for a Judas Priest cover band would be Judas Prius, and have everybody getting out of a Prius vehicle into the gig as the poster. Tonight, Judas Prius. Right? Am I right or am I wrong? Is that pedal you're talking about on the website? It sure it is, Rick Steed. It is indeed, Mr. Steed. If you go to the shop on my website at gregkoch.com, you can find all manner of doggone things, including the Gristle King. And Mr. Tambourine Man was great. I loved all those. A Rocket Man, that was a good one too. She packed my bags last night, pre-flight. 0 hour, 9 a.m. And I'm going to be high. It's a kite by then. Oh, it's fantastic. Just look it up on YouTube. It's disturbing. William Shatner doing Rocket Man at some kind of I think it was an English award show, some kind of a science fiction award show. And he was the host. And he does his version of Rocket Man. And it is fantastic. Am I right or am I right? Diggity dog. Listen, folks, it's about that time for me to skedaddle. I will not be here next Monday live. I'm sure Ryan will put something in the queue that is recorded. But I will be out at Wildwood next Monday through Wednesday, where I will have to successfully avoid temptation once again. It's weird the things that tempt me when I go out there. For one thing, Gibson came up with these new limited edition 58 335s, which are the same color as that 335 back there, but with the big-ass neck. And, ooh, that tempts me. But I'm strong. And then I've got, because I have this guitar, any big headstock strats, I'm always like, because they have a thing. Doggone it. Anyway, I am, thank you, Patrick, for tuning in. I appreciate that. Well, take it easy, folks. Have a good weekend. I'm going to go get some delicious foods, as I like to do, and we will converse with y'all soon. Don't be afraid to like, subscribe, and share this channel. I always forget to say that stuff. So if you don't actually subscribe, people value subscriptions because that tells them that people actually give a shit about their musical activities. So when people booking us go, well, why does he have 100,000 followers on Instagram and only 30-some thousand on YouTube? I'm like, I have no idea. Anyway, take it easy, y'all, but please take it. Bye for now. Have a good weekend.